Richard Peck. Richard Peck was born in 1934 in Decatur, Illinois, a town he describes as quiet and safe. Born of his mother Virginia, a dietitian, and his father Wayne, a merchant who often rode his Harley Davidson to work. Richard Peck was crazy about cars when he was young, and took pride the fact he could instantly identify the make and model of each oncoming car. He went to college in Exeter, England, where he pursued a career of education. He graduated in 1956 with a degree in English. After college, he was drafted by the U.S. Army and spent 2 years serving in Stuttgart, Germany. After his military service ended, he completed his master's degree at Southern Illinois University in 1959. He then became a junior high and high school teacher. He taught in Illinois and New York City. In 1971, he decided to leave his teaching career to write his first novel. Richard Peck considers his mother, reading to him before he could read, and his teachers, who never put a grade on a rough draft, as his main influence to become a writer. Mr. Peck became a professional writer fairly late in life. He did not write his first line of fiction until he was 37. His first novel, titled Don't Look and Everyone Heard, was published in 1972. This novel mainly talks about a 16-year-old girl in the middle of her sisters, middle of her adolescence, and in the middle of her family problems. He has written a range of novels for young adults and several anthologies. His books fall into different genres such as horror, mystery, social, commentary, historical, and realism. He is mainly recognized for writing provoking stories dealing with death, rape, suicide, and censorship. In many of his books, he develops a theme in which an individual steps away from the group to achieve independence. Another theme in some of his work is that of a young adult adopting an adult role and responsibilities. Mr. Peck is also famous for his good humor, his dedication to reading and his readers, and for being stubbornly against technology. Even till today, he types his book on an old-fashioned typewriter and has no intention ever of owning a computer. Though he resists computerization, he has written two popular books featuring technology: Lost in Cyberspace, 1995, and The Great Interactive Dream Machine, 1996. Ever since, Richard Peck has written a book per year, totaling 39 books in 39 years. Some of his most famous books include 1975, The Ghost Belonged to Me. In this book, Alexander Arnsworth is a normal boy until he sees a ghost of a girl in his barn, warning him of an impending disaster. This leads to him to become a local hero, but when he explains that a ghost warned him, it unburies the story on how she came to rest on their property, far from her home in New Orleans, Louisiana. He takes it upon himself to take her body home to New Orleans. 1978, Father Figure, talks about understanding parents is seldom an easy task for teenagers, and Jim has had less success in that direction than many. His father left the family years ago, and Jim has been the caretaker of his younger brother Byron since their mother became ill. They've been living under the grandmother's well-regulated but emotionally distant regime. Now, after their mother's suicide, the two boys have been sent to spend their summer with their father in Florida. Jim's anger is evident from the first moment the boys join their father. The battles join as Jim and his father fight for the affections and control of Byron. 1998, A Long Way from Chicago is a novel in stories that was awarded the Newberry Honor in 1999. The stories involve several week-long vacations two children, Joey and Mary Alice Dowdell, spent with their resilient and crafty grandmother in Illinois. Every August, from 1929 through 1942, our narrator Joey and his sister Mary Alice come from Chicago to their grandmother's home in Illinois. We join them every year, from 1929 through 1935, and then again for a last look in 1942. In the interim, the children grow into adulthood, but their grandmother remains a constant, eccentric presence. A Year Down Yonder, 2000, is a novel by Richard Peck that won the Newbery Medal in 2001. It is a sequel to A Long Way from Chicago. The year is 1937, and the Great Depression has hit the Dowdell family hard. 15-year-old Mary Alice is sent downstate to live with Grandma Dowdell, while her mother and father, out a meager, living in Chicago. A Year Down Yonder leaves Mary Alice with a more tender-hearted view of country life and Grandma Dowdell as she hesitates to head back to Chicago. Wedding bells ring when World War II ends and Mary Alice returns to tie the knot with Royce McNabb on Grandma's front porch. Richard Peck has been recognized through numerous ways. Several of his works have been adapted into movies, including Gas, Food, and Lodging, 1991, adapted from his first original novel, Don't Look and It Won't Hurt. He has also won several significant awards, including 1974 Edgar Allan Poe Award nominee Best Juvenile Dreamland Lake, 1977 Edgar Allan Poe Award Best Juvenile Are You in the House Alone, 1990 Margaret A. Edwards Award, 1990 Allen Award, 1991 University of Southern Mississippi Medallion, 1999 National Book Honor Award finalist Newbery Honor A Long Way from Chicago, 2001 Newbery Medal A Year Down Yonder, 2001 National Humanities Medal, 2004 Jeremiah Ludington Memorial Award, 2004 Scott O'Dell Award for Historical Fiction The River Between Us, and 2005 Allen Award. Richard Peck currently lives in New York, and it is an adjunct professor at Louisiana State University. Richard Peck is a very talented author. This old man once said, "I believe I have one theme in all of my books, and I want to get it across to all my readers every time, and that is this: you will never begin to grow up until you declare your independence from your peers." He also reveals us some of his success secrets to writing as the following: "I get my ideas for my stories in schools where I go to visit. Some kid somewhere always tells me what my next book is going to be about. And some teacher tells me about something that is going on with young people in that community that nobody else knows and that no parent would dare to know." He stated his primary reason for writing novels as the following: "I want to write novels that ask honest questions about serious issues. A novel is never an answer, it's always a question." Mr. Peck has always been concerned with freedom of speech. He mentioned, "I'm not sure their peer group leaders give them freedom of speech, and I do know that the school library of the school they attend is under heavier attack than the public library just down the street." He provides his only advice to children as the following: "My advice for children who want to write is you can start right now."